hear myself through my headphones. Yes, man. Like, I feel real good about this right now.
Pay attention, because you are now listening to Permission to Speak Freely.
You want to take a guess on why I'm wearing Pride gear so much recently, man?
Chief season?
No.
But you ain't got Chief gear on, though. So, no, what's up? What you got to complain about?
I'm wearing Pride gear so much because I live in the barracks and I don't really have clothes. So before we pod, I normally just run to the next and grab some Pride gear. That's the reason. So like today, for instance, we was hitting each other up. I'm like, y'all gotta grab a couple things. It was just Pride gear, man. So that's why, all my clothes.
I said too. I said, man, that hat looking good, bro.
Yeah, it's brand new, man. Pride gear, yo. So that's the reason right there why if you thinking and you see me all the time on YouTube, I'm wearing Pride gear, man. But outside of that, so I don't know where we are with this intro, how it sounds, but it's pretty good and perfect for us, what we do, because we normally melt down after we have episodes that matter. We normally like just melt down and have the worst episode possible, man. So we pretty much hit it there this time too, and I'm pretty excited about it. But what's up, Damon, man? How you been, man? How the season going?
Yeah, man. Hey, everything's going good, man. Schedule is kind of crazy like always, but it's getting better though. You know what I mean? When I say getting better, because the ships are getting better with the schedule. I don't care about going out to sea and I don't care about doing the inspections, but when they jumping all over the place, you know what I mean? That's when they kind of get crazy. But right now everything's doing a little bit better, man. So that's good.
You participating this year? You participating in the season? You participating in the season this year? I know you
I've
ain't
been,
really been a big fan
to
of
a couple events, not as I normally be. I ain't gonna lie, not like I normally,
How many? I got a question. How many years can you say not how I normally be before it become how you normally be?
No, well, I guess plenty. I don't know. Man,
I know you're not a big fan of the season, man. I know
I am a big fan of the season.
Oh, you are?
I'm a huge fan of the season. I'm a huge fan of it.
So why you don't be
I'm not gonna lie, man.
Why you don't be at the events, man?
Because, man, it's like no shit. It's a little bit different, man. I'm a little bit more. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. So give me some feedback.
It's funny, I'm trying to just mess with Damon. I'm trolling him, and he having a real sincere moment right now. So
yeah, I am, man. Man, I be feeling like a little bit disconnected, man. Right, because of the ships I go on. Right, so I go on these events and I miss a lot. Right, and then when I miss a lot, and then I show up, I'm not myself because I haven't been there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to be that guy that comes in like, and start talking about this and talk about that. And everybody in the audience probably be like, this motherfucker ain't showed up to nothing. And all of a sudden he coming in here and he's saying this and he doing it. I don't want to be that guy because I have saw that guy before or girl. So I don't want to be like that, man. So I kind of I show up and I kind of like, listen and wish I could like get them together so I could talk to them. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. But that's not my, it's not my scene like that. So I'm like, so I be feeling a little bit disconnected, to tell you the truth, man.
I'm new on my ship. I'm brand new in my mess. It's close to the same. Like, so I'm using this time to meet my mess. Actually, like it's a big ship, big ship carrier. So I'm using this time to meet my mess, and I'm also using this time to kind of get with the selection stuff like that too. But it's kind of the same because it's like, nobody really know me like that. I start talking and stuff. Like I talked a couple times today. It almost got like washed out. Like I started saying something and somebody else like just was talking. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like almost got like just shut down. like as I'm talking, somebody else was just talking. And like,
jumped up and said something
like louder, like they jumped up louder. And then, and I'm like, dang, but what I said ain't even like land. Like it ain't even hit,
man.
The selects in a way. Cause I'm not one that like, I'm not going on the monologues. I'm not like, but it's like, I'm going to make a statement or something. I just want to say something. So now I know next time I need to stand up. You know what I'm saying? I need to stand because I'm like sitting there. I just said like 3 things and they got washed right out, man. So I got to make sure I stand up next time. So yeah, but football season is here, man. You ready?
Yeah, man. Football season here. Actually, man, we know you are a Philly fan, man, and you guys beat us last year, man, in the playoffs. If you guys didn't know, Domo's a Philly fan. I'm a 49er fan. We played, Domo team beat us up pretty good. quarterback got hurt, all that good stuff, and no excuses. But we played you guys this year.
Yeah, it's good, man.
You know, we ain't doing the regular season, so hopefully we get a little payback on you guys.
I'm
man.
sure you got your season schedule and everything already, right?
Oh yeah, man. I got the schedule. Trying to hit a couple games too, man.
Yeah, man. That's that,
true, man.
Money,
gotta get
man.
out there.
You watch the Olympics?
I'm gonna tell you what I did, man. It's not the Olympics. You talking about the little championship game, the track and field stuff, right?
Well, sports, the gymnasts and the Olympic gymnasts
So,
and all that.
let me tell you what I do, man. I can't watch it all like that. So what I do is go on YouTube. I know it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Once it's over, I go on YouTube and watch the races and watch stuff that I care about, really.
You watch gymnastics?
You know what I mean? I watched. I didn't watch gymnastics this year, which which I love. Old girl though, don't get it twisted. I love her and love what she do. And the only thing I'm hearing now from her last 2 events that she went out and just kicked some ass.
Yeah, she dominated.
Yeah.
Remember we covered her story. We covered the Simone Biles story when she dropped out for mental health, and I think we both agreed that it was okay for her to do that, and she came back and she dominating again.
Dominating, bro. And then she finna break so many records, bro. Like she finna go back to this next Olympics. The next one coming up, and she's still gonna be like she gonna be old when it comes to older when it comes to Olympics.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to gymnastics. But man, she ain't falling off though.
Nah, she
ain't falling off at all, man. So
she getting better, man.
She gonna be one of them people like Phelps, like winning when he get a little bit older than normal anyway.
She done got married. She got married, came back, ready to go. What about this?
Refocus.
I know y'all's billets. It was time to pick orders and all of that. Like, what's up with that?
Yeah, bro. So I picked 3 billets, man. I don't know if I should say what they are or not, but I don't think it matters. You know what I mean? I went out there. I looked at it. They had a total of 5 billets on there. 1 was already closed. 1 had my son on it, which is the Reagan. So I wasn't going to pick that one. So I ended up picking 3 billets. So I ended up picking the Lincoln, the Eisenhower, and selecting them anyway. The Lincoln, Eisenhower, and ATG Mayport. That's what I put in for, man. So we'll see what happens. You guys cross your fingers. Hopefully I want somebody to call me up and say, hey, one of these billets is yours. What you want to do?
Why wouldn't you go to the same ship as your son?
I'm thinking about him when I say that, man. And I made the decision. I didn't even talk to him about coming to his ship and nothing like that. Just me. I didn't want nobody messing with him saying, hey, go talk to your Master Chief Dad. Or I didn't want, none of that stuff. Like, I don't know, man. Then he going to DRB or something. I'm up in there putting them hands on him. Anything like that, man. So I just didn't want that headache for him though. You know what I mean? Not for me. I can see people always calling me, man, can you talk to your son? Like, what? Get out of here. You know what I mean? So I don't want none of that stuff.
Hey, man. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck,
man. Thank you.
Hey, so look, I'm fired up, right? It might not sound like it, but I'm fired up.
Yeah.
First off, for the new listeners, hello. You probably started listening to us after the last episode when we talked about the selection board. The way our podcast works is we just talk about a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know what else to say. We talk about a whole bunch of stuff. We say words like shit, fuck, and all other types of words. But I'm trying to get better. My mom does listen to every episode of this podcast, and I'm just trying to be a better person. I'm trying not to curse like a sailor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my mom finally made, it's PTSF history because my mom finally couldn't get through an episode. And that was the last episode. She stopped it. It wasn't for her. It wasn't for her. She was like, y'all just talked about way too much Navy stuff. And which I knew that episode was purposeful. Like it wasn't for her. I kind of knew she wasn't going to finish that one anyway. But I want to get right into do better. Straight from the top, from the gut. I feel calm, but I got some fire in me and I don't know if I'm going to get fired up. But my do better, the first one is easy. My boots. I need to do better. My boots. I walk around. I shine my boots, man. It take me so much time and effort. And I can never get the super high gloss that some of these other chiefs, guy, man. I cannot get my boots. I think we talked about this on the pod before too, but I cannot get my boots real fucking shiny. I don't know how to do it, man. It's been years. 16.
Yeah. I think your do better probably go for both of us, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I be shining my ass off. I used to get like a little bitty little gloss, and I'm thinking I'm good. But them guys be having mirror. It's something to it. Somebody to holler at us, man. It's some way that they getting that gloss like that. I know they not just sitting there 5 and 6 and 7 hours of doing that.
Yeah.
So it's gotta be a quicker way to get that done. So if you guys can let me and Domo know, we trying to get those boots, man. We trying to look good too.
Yeah, and we serious. I'm serious. Hit us up. Hit us up. How to get those boots shiny, man. I know it's an E5 below seller that know how to do it. What's the formula? So my real do better is this. Your bad experience is not the Navy experience, right? So I'm gonna say this. I feel like I've been fortunate in the Navy. I had some good chiefs. I had some good mentors. I had some good people. While we talking, I listed you as my mentor or what about, or like this thing, like it was like paperwork on my ship. It's like, yo, who your mentor? I'm like, David Leggins.
Yeah, that's good deal, man. Good deal.
I was just listening to you, dog. I was just listening to you, dog. I ain't had nobody else.
That's the only first name popped up, bro.
I think I put like my old CMC Andy or something that I'm like, let me just, But so here's the thing. What was I saying? Oh, I was fortunate. Like I came up, good people. So I don't ever want to generalize like the Navy experience as my experience. I know that I was fortunate. I had good mentors. I feel like I went to good commands. I feel like I was able to do things that was impactful at like at a more junior rank and things like that. However, I know that everybody's experience wasn't mine, right? Now, on the other side of the coin, though, it's sailors out here who had bad experiences, right? And who might have seen people in their circle have bad experiences as well. But we got to stop. And I'm talking about for social media, right? And other places too. But we got to stop acting like every bad experience is the Navy experience. You know what I'm saying? I was about to curse right there and I didn't. That's where the pause came from. I was about to say the F word. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing, right? We put, we do these videos, we put this stuff on TikTok. I'm going to just kind of tell you what's inspiring that part. So we recently put out a post about E5 evals, and Aaron was talking about the importance of E5 evals, and he was saying that sailors making rank faster and things like that. And somebody jumped in the comments, and I got better at not responding to comments on TikTok, but I'm not fully grown up about not responding to comments at all. You know what I mean? So I'm going to respond to it on here. So, they was like, that's bullshit. It took me such and such amount of years to make first. Stop lying to the people. That's your experience. First of all, you talking to a command senior, because it's a command senior chief who made the statement. He's talking to you. Y'all both add over 20 years of Navy experience. So if y'all saying that people making rank faster, y'all judging it off of y'all full Navy experience. When I joined the Navy, E5s were retiring. A lot of E5 people was retiring at E5. So if you judging from your early experience to now, it don't, like, people, even if they making it at 12 or whatever, people making chief faster. But I know we talk about the people that's making chief at 9 years and everything. So every season I've been to, it's been a chief or two that's making a chief select or two that's making it before 10. Even the one I went through, we had a dude that made it in like 7. And then now Aaron talking about his experience at the board, looking at actual evals, saying he saw a lot of E5 evals or whatever. That's pretty much what he getting at. Same thing as me, because I agree with him on that. So you can't sit here and call people liars that's giving you their experience. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, and I'm not saying we the front runners or we the pioneers or none of that shit, because it's other people that have been doing it. But I feel like this unfiltered kind of, this was my experience, this shit like that. It ain't this a new frontier, man. People ain't been doing this forever. You know what I'm saying? So you get people that's willing to, stand on a grenade or whatever, say I've been through this, say I went through this, say I went through this, and just to low cut them like that and call them liars. I just think that's bullshit, man.
Yeah, most definitely, man. And it's crazy too, though, Domo, is the fact that you're taking what you're saying from a clip.
Yeah,
right?
For sure, 100%.
How about watch the entire episode, right? Also, you know what I mean?
Right.
You are looking at this and you're taking a bite size out of it, probably 10, 15 seconds, if that, right? And you are making your assumptions on what we're talking about. Look at the full video, right? Then you come back with an opinion. Then you can DM us too if you don't feel about it. But you're right. You cannot take and talk to everyone on your personal thing that wronged you or something that happened to you. That's not everybody's opinion, right? That's not everybody's outlook on things. And then it's not even facts.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not even facts. So yeah, man, I'm with you 100%, man, on that, man. Like we are doing something that like you said, man, we are trying to be so upfront and don't even like we've been in long enough to like, hey, this is our experience, man. I've been in for 25 years, man. I done seen a lot of shit. I've been in the mess 12 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a lot of things I done seen coming up that I'm trying to share. You know what I mean? That you trying to share. You know, and talk to get some feedback and then try to correct or make it better for you when you come up. With the next people, the next, you know, generation come up, they say, oh shit, I remember they talked about this. Maybe I can, you know, reach out or do something a little bit different. That's why we doing this. We doing this because we used to have these conversations with our young sailors. And we was like, one day, Domo said, hey, man, we should do a podcast on this stuff. Because we was always on the deck place talking to sailors and getting feedback and doing this stuff, man. So yeah, man, like I don't like that either, especially the liar part, man. That's a big word for me, man. Like you don't even know me like that. You know
right. Like,
liar.
Yeah, because the alternative is just for people to shut up. Like, all right, we done. Like, let's just stop. Let's stop this. Let's stop cultivating conversations. Let's stop getting guests on here that's going to give up some game and all that. And let's just go back to just helping out our singular pocket of sellers, which is our division. And the sellers in our ships are the sellers that we can see and hear. That shit ain't cool, man. Stop using your bad naval experience to represent the naval experience. Grab a mentor, find some help, get somebody that's going to help you through whatever it is that you went through or whatever like that. And if you went through some shit that you're not ever going to heal from, this might not be the place to be, man. You know, like this really might not be the place to be if it's never going to give you a positive return.
Facts. That's just, yeah, man. Let's get into my do better, man. My do better, man, is stop questioning the process, man. Like, I want to get into this and what I'm talking about. Like, real briefly, man, I just want to say this. We have quotas, right, for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody comes up, and I don't even know how, somebody come up with these numbers and say, these people getting out, these people doing this, blah, 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 whatever. And they come up with this number, right? Sailors. Everybody is not going to make chief at the same time. Every single person that's up for chief is not going to make it. You have a quota. It's a cutoff line. It's a cutoff line, guys and girls. Everybody's not going to make it. Believe it or not, it's some good freaking competitive sailors out there.
Mm-hmm.
They're out there, man. The board do not even know the quotas before they do the numbers, before they rank them, before they say this is 1 through whatever, right? So then the quotas come out. Then they have to make that cutoff, right? So I just want to put that out there. I know every time, every year, somebody don't make it and they go on and bash the whole process. Man, this process has been going on for a long freaking time. Can it be better? Yeah. Name some processes that can't be better. You know what I mean? It's hard to name some, right? But this has been going on for a long time, man. And we've been making some good sailors out there and put them in khakis. Like Domo said earlier, get you a mentor, get some people who set the board. Man, there's so many people out there right now, along with Domo, They've been talking about the process and how not the process, but his experience at the board.
Yeah.
Reach out to people, man.
Yeah.
You know, I know Keno Bite. I know it's like it's hard to get personal feedback, like personal to your record and why you didn't personally make it. It's hard because you're probably looking at 3, 4, 5, 600 records.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's hard for that, but it's a process on what they're looking at, what they're looking for in this board that been talked about several times. They got a video on My Navy HR that you can look at. So the process is out there, man. It's like, reach out.
Yeah.
Right. And try to get a better price. Instead of complaining about it, what can I do to get better? What do I need to do instead of bashing? What do I need to do to make my name be called? You know, I don't know, man. I just hear so many complaints about the process, man.
Yeah, and the thing is, man, it's not a process like to not make chiefs, right? So it's a process to make chiefs. So it's a process to like crunch until you make chiefs. So in my opinion, like when I think about feedback, and before I kind of went through and did the board, when I was an advocate for feedback, but
yes,
it's kind of hard to give feedback because all these people are bored. Like you said, the direct feedback. Like Aaron said in the last episode, the feedback is ECP, convene in order, like all of the things that you already kind of have, right? Like you get it already, but it's hard to give feedback like directly to a person on why they didn't make it, because them not making it was never the goal or plan. Like it's never like, oh, this person is not about to make it because of this. It's more of a, these the people that's going to make it. And then we crunching and these the other people that's going to make it. And then, oh, these the records that we not going to kind of give. And that's due to different, like 19 people that gives it a different grade depending on how it score out. So it's no real way to like get the direct, this is why I didn't make it. You had to ask every single one of those 19 people, what did you vote me for? And why did you vote me for that? Or whatever. And then it's just way more into that board than like, you know what I'm saying? Than like getting rid of people. Like it's like, oh, like for like an athlete, like, hey, we didn't pick you because your leg is messed up. Like that's never the thing. It's more of why, who got picked and why or whatever. And it ain't even who got picked because it's not singular. It's more group based. Like it's not too many people that get picked singular until you go down to like the last 3. You know what I'm saying? Then after you pick, like, let's say you pick 25 people from like 90 and up. That's 25 people. You're not back looking at the records like, oh, we picking these 25 people because of this. No, you already been did that when you reviewed the records. So it's no real way to get like, these are the exact reasons why you like, nah. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
most
that don't sound too crazy, do it? Like, I ain't trying to sound crazy. But it's not a process. It's like, it's acceptance, not like elimination. Like, it's the opposite of what you think it is. Like, I don't see how you gonna find out how you didn't get picked. Like, now that I said it, that just don't make sense. Like, we trying to get as many people as we could get. You know what I mean? We not trying to get rid of people. I feel like I'm being repetitive, and it's because I'm trying to make a point. You know?
Yeah.
The last thing about the last episode is this. I took some stuff out the last episode, right? Here's the 2 reasons why some stuff. We took like 15 minutes out the last episode, just to be transparent to y'all. So here's the reasons why. The first reason was, I think some of this stuff we was saying was like the oath. Remember how we go back and forth like, yo, can we say this? Yo, I don't know if we can say this. Can we say this? I don't know if we can say this. And I felt like it was like disclosure kind of things, right? So we got rid of that stuff. We ain't want to talk about like things that's like go against the oath, because we, like, even if it was questionable, like we ain't want to make the mistake and talk about things that kind of go against the oath. And then the other reason why I took something out in particular that I really didn't want to take out, and I felt like it was like one of the more important parts of the episode, is because we looked at how people could take it and put a negative spin on it, vice the positive spin that it was supposed to have. And it's a lot of, and that's kind of what we've been talking about. It's a lot of power in that negative spin. You know, so it's like Like, we didn't want people to use a really good story and put a negative spin, because you could say a million things positive about the process, a million pros, but people will deep dive into the one con or the one thing that you think could be better and like invalidate a whole entire process. You know, I wish we could keep it funky. I wish we could have kept it all the way funky with that part that we kind of like, a brainchild was like, yeah, let's take this shit out. You know, because we don't want people. And it kind of happened. Like, we put a little clip out, and all the only thing the clip said was the human factor could have issues at times. That was it. It was like 3 seconds of a clip, and somebody took that and they made a whole think piece about what they felt like. And hey, shouts out to the young seller that made the think piece. You dope. Keep making content. But they made a whole think piece about the human element, and they, like, without listening to the episode, or I think paying attention to the full clip that they were watching, because they was like, yeah, they had one person who set the board, and no, it was two of us, and that was actually on the clip too. So, like Damon said, yo, try to watch the full episodes. I know these things be long, you know what I'm saying, but try to watch the full episodes and pay attention to the full clips before, you know, people comment in real time. So as soon as they see something that they agree with or disagree with, that's when they comment before the clip even over. You know what I mean? But, you know, try to give it the full context before you start just going off and, you know, and going crazy. You know, everything is a yin and yang. Everything is a good and bad. And we got to take the good with the bad. We can't just make decisions based off the bad or whatever like that. And that's kind of what contributed to deleting that, you know, 15, that was like a 5-minute story, but altogether we deleted 15. The other was because of the oath, but that's kind of what went into it, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, Damon? You know how hard it was, bro. Like, I did not want to take that out, man. That was like,
yeah, you was back and forth a lot, you know, in the podcast, because you most definitely didn't want to, you know, get into nothing you don't sort of be talking to. So it's understandable. You know what I mean?
Man. It's just crazy that you got, it's just crazy you got to do that. Like, we trying to keep it real. You know what I mean? Like, It ain't like somebody going to be like, yo, the board is fair. It's this. Nah, it's like, they going to just be like, yo, well, I heard this. It's like, damn, what about like all these 145 points that we made about how the system is fair? Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? So that's, and that's in the same line of people invalidating, you know, experience because of enabling. You could sit something right in front of somebody and be like, hey, this is what it is, this what it was, you know, and they be like, nah, that's a lie, that's some bullshit. Like, remember R. Kelly tried to say it was his brother? Like, like, that wasn't your brother, dog. That was you, man.
That was you, motherfucker.
Are you with us, Tish, or are you still in and out? Like, I'm afraid to talk to Tish because the moment we talk to her, that's when she frees.
Yeah.
Yeah, she not with us, y'all. Hey, Tish here, y'all, but she not really with us, yo. I just want y'all to know that she here.
Hey, she even talking low too.
It's
she
bad.
Knows she talking too loud.
Yeah, it's bad, man. For the new listeners, it is 3 of us. It is 3 hosts, man. It's me, Domo, Damon right here. We got Tish. She here. She's here, but she not really here, y'all. Yeah, I can hear you, but your mouth ain't moving with on my side. What I see, your mouth ain't moving with your words, man. You know what I'm saying? And you super choppy.
Chop.
Yeah, you can.
Froze.
Yo, you can take the night off, Tish, if you want. Man.
Yeah, I tell you.
You can go lay it down, man. Like, man. It ain't working. Like, I'm telling you, it's not working for you, Tish.
We hear you every now and then. We hear you. You frozen, all that good stuff.
Yeah, you go ahead.
You could take the night out.
Yeah, go ahead, Tish, man. Get an early happy hour. So, man, it ain't gonna work. It's not working. So, Damon, I wanted to say this, man. Like, we gotta keep moving, man. Like, I wanted to say this. Tish, look, she gone. So, our sellers, man. I'm realizing our sellers are survivors, bro. You know, like. It's been this big, crazy question in a lot of rooms and spaces. I know the SCA sometimes it's the question is asked, and it's about if we go to war, if something happened like that. Who do we have right now? Who are our sellers? Like, in that personality, they spirit and stuff like this. I'll say this. I sat down. I've been doing a lot of one-on-ones, talking to sellers. A lot of our sellers are coming from scenarios and conditions like real life stuff that they proven that they've been survivors in. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so I know that if the time comes, our seller's going to persevere. It ain't too many sellers out here that like been like living the greatest life, man. You know what I mean? Just based off my experience and the people I've been talking to, it ain't too many sellers like, hey, I grew up, my mom and dad were multimillionaires. I lived with both of them. We had a white picket fence, boom, boom, boom. And I just decided to join the Navy to serve my country. No. Now, there are some sellers who decided to join the Navy to serve their country. Then there's other sellers. And a lot of sellers, they come from rough childhoods, some spotty backgrounds, and a lot of conditions that can be improved. And a lot of our sellers are sending money back home to their parents.
Yeah.
You know?
No doubt. And I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon too, man, and say this. It's a lot of things that we do in the Navy when it comes to training, you know, running these drills, doing all this stuff that we don't want to do, right? We don't want to do that shit. Like it's time to go home. It's 15, 16, 17. I want to go hit my rack. But guess what? We do these things, right? But let me tell you this. If shit hit the fan, one thing we gonna always remember is our training, man. It always gonna go back to our training. What else you got, right? If I tell a sailor, you know, go get that CO2 bottle, right? And do this and do that. Guess what? He or she gonna go get that CO2 bottle. They're gonna know exactly what to do with it because of the training, right? Because of what we have done. Now, doing the training piece we doing, they may not want to go get that CO2 bottle when we doing our regular drills and at 17, 1800, right? But let shit hit the fan. We're going to always fall back on things that we do repetitive all the time, man. And we always fall back. And like you said, man, we survivors, man. If you guys, I wish that I can share some of the stories from sailors, man. And when Domo speak about survival, man, like, sailors have been through a whole lot of stuff, man. It comes to the Navy. And that's one thing as a leader, man, that you want to get to know your sailor, because once you get to know your sailor, man, you can be able to maneuver a little bit better around them and know what's going on, what triggers and these things, right? And everything you can't. A lot of things you got to be up front and you got to say this and say that. But man, like backgrounds and where people from and stuff means a whole lot, man, when you trying to train sailors, man.
Yeah, man. So we got some
Domo going hard in there, like, you know, talking to the sailors one-on-one. I don't know if you guys heard that, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I be doing one-on-ones, man. So I found a Navy app that's legit, man. I found
a legit app,
I found a legit Navy app.
The first one, world.
The first one, world. Now, let me say this. I'm not sure if it's affiliated with the Navy. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because it's legit. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit. Okay.
And it's an app that it's a measuring stick, because there's other apps like this. But the name of this app, and with the measuring stick is not the greatest. But compared to every other Navy app that I've found, this is the best Navy app ever. It's called Child Call. It's called Child Call. You know what kind of app this is? So I live in the barracks, right? And it's a subway around here. It's, you know, you got canes at the necks and stuff like that. It's not, you got gas stations, but it's not that many places to eat. You know, so you got to either order like Domino's or somebody that deliver to the base. Child Call is like DoorDash or Uber Eats for the base. So now with Child Call, you can order from like restaurants outside of the normal scope of the restaurants that you can normally order from. It's only about 8 to 12 of those though. But Chick-fil-A is on there sometime. Applebee's is on there sometime. Wingstop is on there. What happened? I saw a young seller getting Wingstop delivered. And I'm like, yo, hold on, man. Like, how you getting Wingstop delivered to the barracks? Like, this is unheard of. He was like, it's an app, right? And I'm going to say the full name of it. It's called Child Call TAC Base X. It's called Child Call TAC Base X. This is not a promotion. You know what I mean? We are not paid to promote this app. But if y'all try to pay somebody, I'll promote it. But he was like, yeah, I just use that and I get my stuff. I'm like, for real? I'm downloading that right now. You know what I'm saying? So Child Call Base X for all the sellers in the barracks that want your food. And it's different bases on there. So you select your base. Only thing I don't like is like if you don't use it, if you use it and then you use it again later, you got to re-select all your stuff again. Like it don't remember your stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of military stuff like that, you know, and I know that's for like privacy and stuff like that. But you select your base and then you just order your food and it comes. Only other thing is the upcharge is crazy. Like if you buy something for like $18, you spending a 40 piece. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
It's 18, but that's just like Uber. That's just like Uber Eats or DoorDash.
Yeah.
You know, but if I could just chill in my barracks and get food delivered to me like a king, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm good to go.
So so that's also big for the TAD people, man. You might go out there to VA, man. You ain't got no rental car. You know what I mean? You stuck on base. You know what I mean? Download
child call, man.
The child call, man. Yeah. Download child call, hook you up, get your food, bring tickets. I've been out there before and it was the same way for me. I ain't had no car.
Yeah. What you had to eat Subway? You had to just eat Subway?
Yeah, walk around, you know.
Man. The Navy finally got an app that we could trust. You know what I'm saying?
And if they got something similar to this in San Diego somewhere or anywhere else.
I think it is. Yeah. You just got to select the base.
Man. Let us know and we'll put them out here too, man. We'll say something about them.
Yeah, so I got a question for you. And that's, what's the top 3 things that you wish you didn't have to correct sellers on? I'm going to go first, just so, you know, if you don't understand what the question is. So it's things that I got to correct sellers on at times. And some of them I just hate fucking having to do, man. I hate coming to work and having to correct sellers on certain shit. It's not that I hate having to do it. Like, it's like, I don't want to do it. I hate having to do it. I just hate the fact that I have to, like you putting yourself in a position for me to have to correct you on something. The first one is ball caps. I hate correcting people on ball. I hate the fact that I got to correct people on ball caps. Like, why the hell can't you just wear your ball cap the way it's supposed to be on your head? Why are you making me have to say something to you about this damn ball cap? You know how your ball cap's supposed to be worn. Like, what's so hard about just rocking that ball cap the way it's supposed to be worn while you at work on the ship in the Navy? Like, what's so hard about that? I see if like for a second you like stressed out, you tired, you do the quick pullback or whatever. But if you a seller, you just walking straight frame to frame, your ball cap all crazy. Like, come on, man. Like, that's an easy way for somebody to not get on your nerves by correcting you, for you to not have to worry about somebody saying anything to you or whatever. It's just to wear your ball cap the right way. The second one is earbuds. Damon, earbuds. You know, it's gone crazy out here now. Yeah, we know we can't wear them like as we transiting P-ways in our uniforms. We know that we can't. We know it, you know? I love music just as much as the next person, like maybe even more. You know what I mean? I like podcasts. I like audiobooks and all that. Yeah. I would love to just walk around with my earbuds on too. I don't know. Maybe I sound like an old man right now. You know, maybe I sound like an old man on the porch. But we know we're not supposed to do that in our uniform. We know it's in every damn fucking instruction there it is. There is. Why do I have to correct you on that? Why? Why are you putting yourself in a position for me to have to say something to you? Like, why? Then my last one is this. Showing up on time to musters. Showing up on time to musters. And that might not be my top 3, but these was the 3 that I could think about, man. Yo, show up on time to muster. You know at 0730 that, you know, your EDO gonna have to say all present and accounted for you if you on that carrier. You know that. Yeah. You know, why are you strolling up at 0729? Your EDO done turned his back already, don't know you coming. You know, I had this seller show up. I overheard this. I was like brand new or whatever. This seller showed up and the person was like, "What's up, man? You late?" And the seller was like, "No, I'm on time. I like to show up on time." You know what I mean? So, and it was like the time or whatever. And I'm thinking like, no, you know, dog, like it's 15 minutes, man. And, you know, if you're going to stretch it out, at least 10 minutes or something. But that showing up on time shit, y'all know that shit ain't right, man. Like, yo, I came exactly on time. Like, come on, yo. It's people that's taking, like, doing accountability, people that's taking muster. You got somebody sweating. Yo, I start stressing out when it seems like my people ain't gonna be around. And then you might have the people that's gonna lie, right? And be like, yo, all president accounted for. And then here you come strolling up. Like, they like, that this dude lied. like all president accounted for. Here you come strolling up out of nowhere. man. Y'all gotta do better, man.
Bro.
They my top 3 things that I have to correct people on that I just, even when I had a conversation sometime, man, I'd be just exhausted. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, why do I gotta do this today, man? What about you?
So, man, I don't want to repeat nothing you said, but I have to, man. I think my number 1 is ball cap too. I don't know how many times I done seen that ball cap stuck on their hair and hair all out the front, right here. Like, it's crazy how many times I see that all over the freaking Navy, man. I'm on a lot of ships all over the Navy.
And it ain't an ethnic thing. It ain't an ethnic thing.
No,
it's everybody.
Most definitely not.
Black, white, Hispanic, Filipino, everybody.
Hair out the front. I don't know where that come from, but it's out the front. My second thing, man, is, and I think this more for engineers than anything, is them damn coveralls, bro. Hey, the holes in your coveralls, bro.
Let's talk about it.
Hey, man, you know it's there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The back pocket's gone. See your damn underwear. Don't nobody want to look at all that, man.
Patch
like,
Adams.
And you know they trash. You know you having quarters. Man, I remember at one point in time, man, that I was doing, and look, I'm going to tell you right now, like anybody, I'm going to give you an inspection probably once, a week, maybe once a month, maybe I'm going to do a real inspection on everybody to make sure they squared away.
Yeah.
Right? Bro, these coveralls make me want to do this shit every day, man.
Yeah.
When they come out the quarters, you at quarters. When you come to quarters, you got to be legit.
Yeah.
Don't come. Now, I ain't got a problem with if I'm in the HC shop. So when you working hard, that's a whole nother ball game. You in there. But you're not finna come to my quarters like this, man. Your pockets all off, hanging on down, holes everywhere. Come on, man. Let's do better, man.
Yeah.
And my last one.
Hey,
last one.
Before you move on, though, I never been like a stickler for like coveralls for like engineers. Honestly, I'll be honest. I never cared that much about coveralls, like if they frayed at the bottom and stuff like that, because you might have walked on them or something.
Yeah.
But are that small little gash that they might get in the back part at the bottom. But all them holes, I don't like all that. Come on, y'all. You know you're not supposed to have that, man.
Yeah. It's crazy too. It's crazy. My last one, man, is kind of maybe, I don't know, but it's the norm, bro. Like, I don't like, and I have to correct people on the norm. Like, and I know maybe I don't care what it is. It could be a daily, right? It could be showing up on time.
Yeah.
It could be all these things, man. But like, if you doing a daily, you got to check something, and I'm walking by it every day. Why you not? Like, you sign this. This is normal.
Yeah.
Like, why? And then another thing, what the norm is, if you are doing a daily, why it ain't signed daily? Why I got to tell you in the morning that you ain't signed the daily for yesterday?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like you said before, like time, showing up on time. If I say we doing training at 0700, don't be busting in at 0702.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like the norm, man. We've been in long enough. You've been in the Navy. I always tell you 15 minutes early is kind of something that we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
At least you can use that as a reference point.
Yeah, these are drum beats. They the drum beats.
Yeah, man. And like you said, man, I know it's more out there. And we might have to bring this topic back again because it's all out there.
Yeah, I got more. I just, these was the top 3 because it's like, yo, come on, man. I really don't want to have to correct you, man. I don't want to.
Yeah.
So it's something that been happening a lot lately, and I've seen a podcast about it. Well, I listened to a podcast about it, and recently, just different letters coming out, messages coming out, and it got to do with like mental health support for chiefs. I want to say this myself. I was listening to D Guts. He read through, I think, the MCPON's letter, and it made a mention of mental health. I don't want to get into that or whatever. He did in my opinion, a good job kind of chopping that up and his opinion about the mental health aspect. But that wasn't the first time I heard about it from like senior leadership in the Navy, and the expectations for chiefs when it comes to mental health. So I want hopefully to get like some feedback on what that what they trying to say, what message they trying to say. Because the way that I received the messages, not just from what the McPine wrote, but from another very, very, very high-ranking leader in that leadership mess, the way I received the information was that we should, like, chiefs should be kind of the first line when it comes to mental health of our sailors. Me personally, I was confused about chiefs being the first line when it come to mental health of the sailors, because I'm not a mental health specialist. You know, I don't know how to assess a mental health condition. I could talk to my sailor. I could trust, like we saying, I'm having one-on-ones with my sailor. I'm learning about their life.
Yeah.
I could trust them. I could know their temperaments, and I could know the questions I need to ask to be able to refer them. But I don't want to yay or nay a mental health condition or a mental health situation. You know, I don't feel like I'm on the front lines for mental health. I feel like I need to figure out who to take my sailor to when it comes to mental health. And my wife, she a therapist. And I asked her about it, like, yo, how should I feel about this? And she like, no, you right. Like, mental health is a specialty. And then half the people that practice, it's a practice as well. So half the people that practice this specialty, it's a practice. You know what I'm saying? So where do me, the electrician's mate, that's halfway good at that, you know, I always say that, comes in, where do I come in and I'm able to make any mental health call? I don't know, man. Like, I was never trained to do anything that had to do with mental health. You know, so we going to ELD now, we learning ethics, we learning things about that. But I don't feel like I should be making a mental health. And we talked about this on our podcast a long time ago before it was ever mentioned by any leaders in the leadership mess or anything. But I just think mental health is way too touchy of a thing for me to be like, nah, you good or nah, you bad or whatever. That's like I'm like, hey, let me get you to who you need to talk to so you can take care of that. You know? I don't know though, man. I just kind of just wanted to hit that though.
Yeah, man. I'm with you 100%, man. Like, I don't want to be the one to make that call. That's not a call I should be making or trying to make. I'm not a professional at that. Right. And I don't want to be. You know what I mean? I don't want to be. It's too much. Now, if you want to give me some training on some signs to look for so I can send them to the right places, like give me some training on signs to look for, put out where they need to go, and I'm going to get them there. I'm going to pick up on the signs and I'm going to get them where they need to go. That's what I want to do every time. I don't care if I'm overdoing it or not. I don't care. Yeah. Because I'm making sure you good to go. That's my whole goal. That's my whole purpose. I want to make sure you good to go. So let me know those little things, get them where they need to go. And I'm great, bro.
Yeah. And it's some good dudes with great intentions that I heard like make the statement. So what I'm asking for, if y'all could clarify that, because I don't believe that I received it the right way. Yeah. You know? So please. All right, let's go back to. I didn't want to, but let's go back to some stuff about the not last episode, but my Millington experience. Because the last episode, I knew that we was gonna get new listeners and people was gonna want to hear it, and that is what happened for all our like listeners. Shout out to the day ones too. But I knew we was gonna get new listeners, so I was speeding through the Blackout Experience, right? That shit was fucked up, Damon. That shit was fucked up. Let me be straight up.
Yeah.
I was pissed off at how that was handled, man. It was poorly handled to have a group of like leaders in the military, whatever, senior chief, master chiefs, officers, whatever. In this place, we blacked out for 12 to 15 hours. Just in our rooms, bro. Just not knowing what's going on. Y'all know the protocols. Y'all know about everything that got to happen when it come to these boards. That people is more preferred for people not to be communicating. All this stuff. Y'all know all this stuff. And on top of all that, though, it's America's military, bro. Like we gotta have contingencies in place for like bullshit like this, man. Like we just blacked out. No power, no water, nothing. Some people just stayed in that dark ass room for 4 days, bro. You know, they probably had a car. I just talked to somebody. He's like, yo, I stayed in the room for 3 days. You know, just in the dark. Like, it gotta be like, so remember I said, we had to find hotels. You know, if we had a Govey, we had the Govey. Not everybody had the van, but we had to figure out a way to get, you know, the Navy ain't just in Millington. Like, it's other places that could have offered some kind of fucking support, bro.
Yeah.
It was, it was bad, man. It was not good at all. Like, this was like, that part of it was very, very mishandled. Like I said, people was like, I don't even want to deal with DTS. Like, somebody should have been like, yo, DTS, this group of people, these the names, they gonna be charging their cards, they gonna be doing this, they gonna be doing that. These are the reasons why, boom, 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 we the military, we gonna take care of our people. It did not go down like that. It did not go down like that, bro. We had to go, I paid for my hotel out of my pocket at first. I wound up switching it over, you know, and going, but I paid out like, cause the communication wasn't there. It was bad communication. Every day we were supposed to go back to the board, and then it's like, no, we're not going back to the board. No, we're not going back to the board. Hey, stand by. It kept being like, stand by to be on call. Stand by to be on call. Like, so the day after, it was like, hey, the next morning, it was like, hey, stand by. You're going to be on call. And it was like a 1 hour return time or whatever. So then it's like, now I can't go to the gym. I can't go do nothing because I got this 1 hour return time or whatever. And then eventually it was like, all right, just extend your room for 2 more days because the time that we think we was coming back, we not coming back. But on that side of the house, I get it. It's a natural kind of thing. We trying to assess what's going on. That's going to be hard to figure out. But on the side of the house of us being like cold, alone, and afraid, and I mean, nobody really was because these leaders, but we gonna boogie, we gonna figure it out. We gonna make it work and make it happen. But what the fuck? Why are we in this position? It's like no support, bro. It was like no support, man. I told you I was walking off the base and like I was hitchhiking. Did I choose to do that? Yes. So I'm not taking it, away from that. But I chose to do that because it was really just one more seat in our Govey van or whatever. And it was too many. Well, it was too many of us for like, it wasn't enough seats for like everybody. So I'm like, yo, I'm going to just hit the Uber. I don't even want to complicate things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, did other groups have Goveys too? Yeah, other groups had Goveys too. So you could go around, I'm not going to lie about it. You could go around and probably find another group, hop in a Govey, but they have plans. They moving their people around. It just shouldn't even be like to where you got to figure, in my opinion, if you're in the military, something like that happened. I think a plan should come out. Our plan should be in place to be like, hey, this is how we going to do this. This is how y'all going to do this. Y'all going to go here. We got connections with this place. None of that happened, bro. Like, it was just weird. Like, to me, it was weird. Like how that went down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's crazy though. Cause you bring up a good point about like, we're in the military and we have no plans. If something happens, we just like, we just out here. You know what I mean? And that brought me back to this thing I remember happening and to me, man, like it's called like the changes in the Navy. We can't make changes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It takes like an act of whatever to try to make a change. It goes back to, like you said, man, like we just can't do it. I remember this one time, man, I had this thing where I was on a ship and the ship built a repair locker a certain way, right? And then they told me that, hey, when I get to this next location, we're going to gut this out and put something brand new in there, right? And I say, well, why the hell are we doing that? Why we can't just do it now here? Why it's gutted? Why ain't nothing in here? Because they couldn't change. They couldn't make change, bro. They couldn't come up with a plan to make change because they had to come off a contract that was done 10, 15 years ago. Yeah. You know why your plan didn't work when you was over in military? Because they didn't have nothing in place, right? Yeah. They couldn't make that change. They couldn't make a little error and say, okay, you know what? This is crazy for us doing it like this. Let's go ahead and go to Gulfport, Mississippi somewhere that's probably a couple hours away. They got all these facilities that we can use to do this. No, they don't have a plan. You know what I mean? It's crazy to think about it like that, but it's so true, man. It's crazy true.
I see that like all the time with a lot of the things we do with like instruction, like things that's just like, hey, but this is a different scenario. Like this ain't the scenario that the instruction was kind of written for. It's a different one. It's like, yeah, well, it's the instruction, so we kind of got to do it like that. It's like, yeah, but this ain't, like now imagine if you had your sellers somewhere stranded with no power, no hot water, nothing like that, and you had to have a conversation with your CO. And you went up to your CO's office and you was like, hey, I got 5 sellers in Millington, Tennessee. They stranded right now and they lost all power. There's no water, there's no hot water. There's nowhere for them to get food at on base. But I told them to figure it the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Like what your CO gonna say? Like what would your CO? What you think your CO would say, man? Like.
Yeah, you know what, man? I'm gonna tell you one thing though. Like, I know they talk about that DTS shit. Hey, I'm a firm believer that they're gonna have to get it another way because I'm charging that card. If that card ain't got the money on there, I am charging that card, and I'm gonna annotate in DTS what happened. And it is what it is, man. Yeah. It is what it is.
It was resources. So let me say that it was like a place to call that could get you hotels, but since everybody needed one, it's a wait for that, right? It's a whole for that. It's like things, but it's no contingencies for if something happens for these things to be better than. It's like if you got like a restaurant, for instance, and you're used to like a 5-person lunch or whatever, but for some reason at this lunchtime, 150 people show up. But you never planned for 150 people. So now you got your one person on the register struggling, trying to, take care of all these orders or whatever. So it's things, but it's no contingencies if these things need support. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the point that I'm making. Like, yes, it was the one number to call for somebody that might be able to get you to find like a hotel. If you didn't call that number, you can find in a hotel, because that was the original information we got was, we got to find our hotels on our own. Bruh, like most of the hotels booked, because most of the people in the city, it's a blackout in the whole city. So most of the people in the city, they go into the hotels. And if the hotels in the city not booked, you know what's happening with them? They blacked out too. It ain't no power. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, let's figure this out. I don't know. It was just bad. Like it was just
one other thing that's crazy too. And I know we know this. It's a weather report too that you can kind of use.
Yeah. Bro, and nobody was like, hey, by the way, like it's going to storm and like we might lose power everywhere. Like that ain't happening at all, bro.
Man. Bro, it's crazy.
This rain, like, and I'm probably stupid too. Yo, this rain came out of nowhere, bro. Like it was like a beautiful day. Like it just was a storm, like, but nobody was like, hey, we might lose power.
About that shit for 2 weeks, bro.
Bro, it's bad. It was bad, bro. Like why can't the military be like, yo, Hilton, we're the military. We need 25 rooms for these 25 people right now. We protect y'all. Like, somebody knows why that we can't do that. And I would love to know the answer to why we can't just flex on people sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put my service members who protect, who are sworn in to protect and serve our country, who are sworn to protect and serve our country, put them somewhere where they're going to be all right. And give them some food.
Ain't no flexing, bro. You go up in there, you can flex. You can go in and say, I'll be back. I'm going to go call my CO. I'll be back. And I guarantee you I'm finna get a room. Your ass going to come back with your tail between your legs. Like, hey.
They don't know your CO. We don't know your CO. I mean, because we could get into how like the restaurants on base don't even give military discounts. Like we could get into that if you want to. Like if you're a restaurant, I don't get it. Like, yo, if you're a restaurant on base, like, yo, how you not giving a military discount? Like, yo, y'all do military discounts? Man. No, we just take all y'all money. like, come on. Like, what
not
y'all
even
doing
with no
out
taxes,
here, man?
bro. They even taxing your ass.
Tax you on everything. Like, they don't tax at the commissary. No, but we tax you here. You know what I mean? Like, that shit is sick, yo. That's sick. The other thing that we did learn from that episode was that the reason why you can't just submit the whole WAP when we come eat the whole WAP, do the whole WAP. The reason why you can't do that is because file size. So somebody said file size And then somebody else said you can only add 10 enclosures. It's been a while since I had to add like more than 10. So I probably knew that and forgot, or I probably just didn't know at all. But you can only add 10 enclosures to the letter to the board. But somebody else said like it's a size limit.
Okay.
So one of the two. So, but you can't submit a 40 enclosure letter to the board. So dumb on us, for the amount of people that listened and probably was like, man, they wrong as hell. But we do that sometimes too on this podcast. We just be wrong as hell. And that's why we love the community that come and correct us. Another last thing. That's the last thing I think, man. I hope we don't got no other topics about it. Last thing from that is this. Thanks to Aaron. So Aaron was a last minute. It wasn't planned to have Aaron on that episode. I'm glad he was. He kind of kept me in line. I would have went real dark and off the rails on that episode. Like I would have, like it probably would have ever been able to come out, man. I would have went crazy on that episode. But I could tell. I measure Aaron's temperature. I did the weather report. You know what I'm saying? There, I did the weather report. I got Aaron's temperature. I knew how we was supposed to come. I knew how. So he kind of set the tone for that. So I appreciate it. What I didn't know was that it was the day before his birthday. I ain't know that. Like, I ain't know we was recording with him the day before his birthday. So late, I already said it in person, but for the pod, like late happy birthday to Aaron. That was a last minute, like 2 day prior to decision to get Aaron on an episode. And it almost didn't happen, but I appreciate him being on an episode. He really legitimized it. Like he made it more than what I ever could have made it. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's good shit. Good shit.
Yeah,
good shit,
he made it something that like people in the Navy could actually like listen to, you know what I mean? like something real legit, you know what I mean? I'm hearing a rumor, man. Can we talk about rumors on this pod? Is it damaging? Is it irresponsible to talk about a rumor?
I got a rumor, bro. You got a rumor, I got a rumor. Go ahead.
So if I say it's a rumor, right, and we clarify it's a rumor, I feel like we could talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm hearing a rumor that this SE-A2P is about to be recanted and turned back to the normal way of promoting from senior chief to master chief. I'm hearing a rumor about that. The reason why I want to talk about that, because I want to ask you your thoughts on that. Because with this rumor, my thought, now that's all I heard. I just heard a rumor that it's about to go back to normal. The reason for it being about to go back to normal, and the rumor that I heard, is because it's not enough billets, right? It ain't enough billets, so it's about to go back to normal. My thought is that the Navy probably gonna let the first group of people that get billets go, and then be like, yo, yeah, we, like this shit ain't work. We gonna go back to normal. What's your thoughts on everything I just said?
So you talking about A2P, right? You ain't talking about what I'm going through. You talking about the...
Ain't you going through SE-A2P, senior enlisted, advanced to promotion?
The marketplace.
Yeah, ain't that the same thing? Is that the same thing or no?
I don't think so. We had to look it up and make sure, but I don't think it's the same thing. A2P was like people who had a list of fucking billets on there, and then you applied for it, right?
Oh yeah,
advanced to position, right? So I'm doing a marketplace thing, which I'm hearing rumors. That's one of my rumors.
Oh,
I know some of the same thing. Really.
Yeah.
I'm hearing some of the same thing about they talking about, like, because they was going to do the senior chiefs next year. I heard rumors. They said they ain't doing the senior chiefs now. You know what I mean? They trying to correct this master chief shit. That is a rumor that's out there.
Because I'm hearing that the master chiefs is like the number one priority. So even like with the chief selects, I'm hearing that like, yo, we need to figure out what we're going to do with these master chiefs before we even start redistroing chief selects. Yeah. So I'm hearing a lot of little rumors. I never really got on here and talked about rumors that I heard, but like these I'm confirming these as rumors. Like these not things that I know to be true, right? So we just kind of having a make-believe fantasy conversation. So now how do you feel if you get orders to a place that you don't want to go to, and then they just shut the shit down right after?
Well, to be honest with you, man, I think we shouldn't be doing it right now. And I got what you're saying about they shut it down. I just don't think it's enough information. It's not enough details on how this shit working. Anybody you call, no one knows what the hell going on. Like it's like everybody is working this whole marketplace thing in a room that can't nobody get in. And when the final product come out, that's gonna be it. Boom. Like no one knows, bro. No one. Like it's like any CMC you talk to is like any detailers So I don't, bro. I don't know who to talk to, bro. I don't even know who to. You talk to me about it, you know.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know, bro. So it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. But I did hear. Since we talking about rumors, and it's not really a rumor because I actually saw this on email, and I don't know if I'm just trying to see if you hear this too. I seen this on email.
Yeah,
that they are no longer going to apply for people to go to the board.
What you mean
think about that?
What
you
mean
don't have
by
to
that?
apply no more. Like they're not going. It's straight up. They are sending orders or telling these Master Chiefs.
Oh, Master Chiefs.
I
heard that.
You
I heard
going
that.
to the board.
I heard that. I heard that. Yeah,
you
I
going
heard
to the
that.
board.
Yeah.
Ain't no more applying for it. They go to select who going and they going.
I heard that, man.
Well, that's crazy. Too.
We need Master Chiefs. Like we need Master Chiefs to do certain things in the Navy, right?
Yeah.
We need them to. We don't need every Master Chief to like not do it because they are Master Chief and they want to give somebody else an opportunity. Right? We need certain things we could use Master Chiefs to do. You feel me?
Yeah.
What I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I do. Yeah, most definitely, man. Yeah, man. Speaking of Master Chiefs, I want to get into this thing, man. Incentive pay, man.
For
CMCs, man. Like, it's pretty disrespectful, man.
Yeah.
On like you have departmental Master Chiefs or Senior Chiefs in certain departments can get paid more than a CMC on incentive pay. I think that's real disrespectful, man. Like we talking about somebody who's part of the triad, man, part of the big three.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You part of the, COXO, CMC, and you freaking getting paid less.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to start it right here, right now, man. We need to come up with some type of program, man. You got department heads out there getting $100,000. You know what I mean? To be a department head. You got all these people out there. What do we have for the CMC? What do we have for the CMC? And I'm not a CMC, so I'm not talking like that. I just want to know, like, what do we have besides $100 and some that we get a CMC?
Yeah.
Are you serious? $100 and some? Like, come on, man. This, guy or girl does a lot when it comes to a command. Like every junior sailor, you know what I mean? People knock on the CMC's door, for answers about anything or whatever, programs. It don't matter, man. Like, man, I just was thinking about this, and then somebody brought it up before too, and I was like, man, you're right. What the fuck does CMC get?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like
Dean talked about it when we had Dean on the pod. We had a conversation. I don't know if we had that one with Dean, but I think we did. It was at the end of our episode. I don't know, man.
That's correct.
Some people don't think it's some chiefs, like Master Chiefs, that don't think CMCs deserve more money than like top snipes.
Wow.
Or maintenance Master Chiefs. It's some Master Chiefs out there that don't think CMCs deserve the money, yo.
Yeah.
I know that for sure.
That's a great conversation, though. That's a good conversation to have. Some of you guys out there that don't think so, holla at us, man. We'll bring you on the pod. I just want to know. I really want to know because I feel like at the end of the day, man, they are part of the glue. You know what I mean? They keep things together, man. That's my whole thing. And
so
they've been doing it for a lot of them been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, I do think CMC should get a nice amount of money, like on par with like the top of the highest paid people in the organization at the command or whatever. But there are some people that just don't think they have like that much risk in their jobs. Like some people that, they like, well, what do they control? What could go wrong if they, slipped, or like, it's some people that it's crazy hearing it, man. But like, I agree. I think that CMCs should be up there when it comes to the bread. But I would love to have, like you said, I love to have that conversation with a CMC or a top snipe or maintenance master chief or, somebody else that's like up there with responsibilities and sailors and everything else.
Yeah. And then it also, I understand. It depends on what command you at. You at some commands where the department or LCPO may be running 300. You know what I mean? Maybe running 400 people. You know what I'm saying? So I can see where that comes from on some of these bigger ships. Yeah. But yeah, that's most definitely a good conversation to have.
And some commands ain't really moving. Sometimes the needle not really moving if that maintenance master chief ain't, moving that needle. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so CMCs, a lot of my training for like command, for like my SEL package and stuff like that had to do with like, hey, if you got a maintenance master chief in your mess, you might want to make sure you and him, or her seeing eye to eye. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of, that was a lot of that conversation. But yeah, that is a good conversation to have, and I'm super interested.
Yeah, most definitely, man. And then speaking of CMCs, we always talk about this thing with CMCs. Is he or her 51%? And I thought about this a little bit, man. I said, what about the 51% in your division? Like, where if you was in a division? And what's your thoughts about this, man? It's like, is it a time, or do you even think about it, that you are 51% in your division?
I think
without like,
you try to set me up. You try to set me up.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's how I be setting you up. I be setting you right up, man. So I think it's different on a ship. I think it's different. Well, different depending on what kind of ship you're on. Let me say that. Like I'm on right now, I'm on a carrier. So on a carrier, I got a Divo. I got the tech, right? So I got E-Tech, and then we got PA, right? That's electro. So that's the khaki in my division. And it's me, and we got a chief. So that's the khaki in my division. On a cruiser, or the DDG, it was a chief and a Divo. Right? So when you talk about 51%, you're talking about the CMC to the mess on mess decisions, right?
Yeah.
So when you talk about 51% in a division, you talk about the chief to just the enlisted sailors.
Pretty much. Yeah. The day-to-day operations of everything you guys do.
Give me an example. Give me
my example is bringing your first class in on things and getting his or her buy-in or whatever the case may be. Do you just go there and just make that decision? Like, yeah, I'm 51%.
You see how You see how I weaved out of that? He tried to trap me. I weaved right out that trap. You can't trap me, dog. He tried to trap me, y'all. No, so look, it was a time where, right, and I know, shout out to EM1. He just made Chief. He Chief Select right now. Shout out to EM1, Chief Select. Much love, man. But so it was a time where we would do quarters. We do quarters. And before quarters, we had our little meeting outside the shop. And my EM1 used to put out, and I might have talked about it on our pod before, but EM1, he used to put out, a lot of stuff. And everything he put out, I'm chopping it down. You know what I mean? Like, just chopping him down. Like, no, that don't make sense because it is. This don't make sense because this don't make sense because it is. It happened for a while. And then, and we kind of just got used. I think that's kind of how we built up the way that it worked. Like, that was like, oh shit, this is how it worked. Like, yo, I'm gonna put on a bunch of shit that ain't gonna land, and Chief just gonna chop it down. And then we got the meeting. That's how it goes. Like, let's do it like this, right? And to a point, like, that's what I was prepared for too. All right, let's go and let me go just correct everything that EM1 got to put out. And we worked great in that, aspect. And then I had a new Divo come. Right, a new Divo come after me and our other Divo had a really great tour. Me and our other Electro, but I had a new Electro come. Shout out to him. Yeah. He was like, "Hey, Chief, I got a question." He's like, "Why do you shut everything that EM1 say down? Like, why you chop everything he say down? Like, why don't you just give him a chance to get everything off and then reflect on whatever it was that you kind of didn't agree with or something like that?" And I'm like, because I suck at life, man. I don't know, you know? And I automatically made a round turn right then and there. That was my lesson right there. And it was good for him to come because he hadn't been there before. He was coming from another division. He wasn't like our last Devo. He was like brand new. That was his only Devo experience. So he was like, okay, this is kind of how it works. So this guy came, he kind of set me straight really fast, and he did it really good. Like, he ain't go crazy. I had a pretty decent reputation, I think, by this point. So he knew that he wasn't dealing with like a horrible chief. So, but he said that and it worked. Like, I automatically switched over. All right, what's your idea? What's your thoughts? And, you know, let's kind of make it work like this. And then also, if your idea works and is good, then who the fuck am I to, you know, stop it just to give you my decision and idea? Now, are there some aspects? So okay, so that's what I grew to. I do it now in my first classes. I'm not shutting down everything they saying. I'm not shutting down most of what they saying, right? Right now, I'm brand new to a ship that they've been on a lot longer than me. So a lot of these things, it's like, nah, senior, it ain't gonna work like this. This not gonna happen like this. We, you know, boom, 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 boom. Some of the things, it's like, all right, like, I'm not new to the Navy and I'm not new to being an electrician. It should work like this. But for the most part, they kind of got the reins, man. You know, I'm not at a 51% unless it's something that I have to be at a 51% with. And it's
Safety.
Non-negotiable.
Yeah.
It's like non-negotiable, you know? I mean, not even like, sometimes it's like, no, we need to be doing this like this, you know? Because somebody else we might have went through the gamut of hearing everybody else's ideas and it's just outlandish. Because a lot of times, like, for instance, with, and it's just an example, this don't got nothing to do with the 51%. But with, like, on the carriers, you got to provide bodies to certain, like, bodies. I hate that term. You got to provide sailors to certain teams, right? And it's all based on your BBD. It's based on these manning documents and all this stuff, right? Nobody wants to lose sailors, you know? So now I might get to a point where I'm talking to like one of the first class, and the first class is like pretty much like, man, we not giving no bodies to that team. You know, it's like, yo, we don't have a choice. You know, we don't have a choice. We got to give a body to that team. So then that, you know, that's me kind of, so that's one of them non-negotiables. Like, it's nothing else that we could do here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's things like that now where it's like, this is a non-negotiable. But for the most part, I believe my first class is listening to this, actually. I don't know why, but they listen to this podcast. So I believe that they have the reign to kind of do what they want, you know, outside of, like you said, safety or things that we really don't, like, I just have more knowledge coming from the top, from like a khaki meeting or something that we really can't like really make our own decision about. This is how we got to do it. The reason why I don't want to make too many decisions about production or productivity and things like that is because I'm not the one that's turning the wrenches now. Fuck, I look like, nah, you're going to have them sitting here assembly line style when I'm not the one turning the wrenches right now. They are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. Well, I tried my best, guys. I tried to trap Domo a little bit. It didn't work. As you guys know, it didn't work.
He tried to get me.
But I got one more thing.
What about you, though? No, but what about you?
About me? Hey, about me, I'm the same fold, bro. You know how we roll. Like, my thing is like it's never, I always try to like get my guys together and talk about things like this. But what I do, I tell you what I do. I do set scenarios. Yeah. So instead of me like saying, like, I know my idea could be the best idea, right? I think it is because I done it for so long. I didn't did it a plenty of times, but they come up with a different one, right?
Yeah.
So I do in my mind try to chop they stuff up.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you play devil's advocate. You play devil's advocate.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm always like, well, what if this happened? What if that happened? But I love the fact that we going back and forth like that. And I don't win all the time. Like, I don't win all the time, but I love the back and forth. And believe it or not, man, I learn shit from it too. You know what I mean? Yeah. We going back and forth, we talking about things. So I like that, man. Then also what that do is, man, it builds a relationship too. Yeah. You know what I mean? It builds a relationship. Okay, freaking, we sit down here, we hash it out. Now everybody on the same accord when we leave out of here, and we know why we on this accord. It ain't just because I said, no, we gonna do this. It's not like this because we picked holes. You either picked holes in mine or I picked holes in yours, and it's a good deal.
And I do a lot of this. I do a lot of the reason why I'm saying this is like, so I do that too. Hey, the reason why I'm saying it like this is because of this. You know, I got a whole, my new motto is that it's a weird motto to have in the Navy, right? But my new motto is make it make sense. That's my motto. That's been my motto now since I was on shore duty. Make it make sense. Does it make sense to you? Does it make sense to me? If it makes sense, we good to go. If it don't make sense, let's figure out why it don't make sense. I could be the one not making sense, or you could. Me not making sense could be based off of all the experience that I do have, you know, and you not making sense could be based off of the lack of experience that you have, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe I've been around too long and I don't know how we doing things now. So you need to kind of tell me, you know, or I need to tell you, but let's figure it out together. And then if it makes sense to both of us, let's get it done. I hate having sellers leave with shit to say that they could have said in the conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, fucking senior made me do this and he ain't even like listening. No, like, let's chop it up. Let's figure it out. Yeah. Like, make it make sense. If it don't make sense.
And one of them other things I always do anyway is say, do that make sense?
Yeah, I do that.
I want to make sure we're going to say, no, I don't want them to think that I'm just, you know, do that make sense to you? Like,
bro, I do that like sure every conversation, yo. I do that damn near every, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I look at them like, and I don't want them to lie to me. Like, I don't want them to say, it makes sense, senior, and then leave. Like, man, senior making this too.
And I'm looking in your eyes. I'm looking at your face expression. I'm looking at everything, man. Yeah. You turn off, that means you ain't feeling me. You ain't feeling what's going back. Let's talk about this.
I ask questions. I was asking one of my sons a question today. He was getting so frustrated, but it wasn't making sense to me. So I kept asking a question. You know, people, a lot of times now, like you see, like people get real frustrated if you ask them too many questions. Like they think like you just trying to pick them apart when really, no, I need it, like, you know, just a transparent moment. Me and Damon, we speak two different languages on text message. Like Damon, like, and we talked to y'all about this on a pod before. So we speak just different. Damon talk how he talks on text message. To me, he talk how he talk on text message. If me and Damon talking, I understand his expression and like what he intends to say when we talking to each other. But reading it on text message, I don't understand none of it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I feel like, yo, I'll be I'm explaining the hell out of this. Like, we just be going
he is not shy about telling me he don't understand it. That's what you guys to know that. He'll tell me the heartbeat. I don't know what you're saying right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So we just recently we was talking about something. Just yesterday. Tish came through and just broke the whole thing down. Like, all right, she's like, all right, I get it. This. And it was like, boom. But that was after, like, I think Damon wound up just calling me, like, yo, bro, like, cause I was like, yo, just call me, cause we ain't getting nowhere. Like, I don't understand what we talking about. But, you know, that's what I do. You know, that's what I do. And I know it could be frustrating to somebody, but it ain't an indictment against them. It's just that, yo, I really need to understand what's happening. Like, I need it to make sense, you know? And that's why I push anybody that's dealing with me that, yo, if it don't make sense, I need them to break me down to parade rest to where, like, really, if it didn't make sense for real, they like, I could say it too, like, damn, that don't make sense. You're right. Like, let's just do it like that or whatever. But I'm very easy now on submitting to like my seller's idea if it ain't gonna get nobody hurt. But yeah, just do it. Just do it however you want to do it. I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely, man. I had this other thing, man, about the disconnect between seniors and juniors, man. I wanted Tish on this, to tell you the truth, about the disconnect. But what I was getting at, man, I was having a conversation. I just put this in there. I was having this conversation this morning about the admirals. We were talking about the admiral was possibly doing an admiral call with us today.
Yeah.
But we wasn't sure if it was going to happen and all this stuff. But we were just talking about it. And I overheard one of the guys, like, you know, the admiral is like disconnected from what we do here or whatever. And then it just made me think, man, like, an admiral? You know what I mean? Yeah, they disconnected from what we doing. They should be connected to some other stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. So my question came about is like, we should be connected with and then disconnected on other things. So I started thinking like that, like should the captain be, is the captain disconnected from what a division doing? I think so. Right? The XO, maybe even the CMC. So now you have to define disconnect first, I guess, before you could even move on. Right? So you have to kind of define what you think about disconnect. So I started thinking about it for a little while, man. Like, what is disconnect? We talking about disconnect is I'm disconnect from social media. That made me disconnect from my sailors in the division. So you have to start really like diving into what disconnect, and disconnect is a real thing out there. I hear it so much. Hey, Chief seeing Chief Master Chief, he disconnected on what we doing down here. So what I like to know from anybody to help me out, what is the definition, or what is your definition? We talking about disconnect.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Can we talk through this a little bit? Can we talk through this a little bit?
Yeah, most definitely.
It's funny, y'all. This episode might have almost been over. We ain't got that many topics left, but this might be a little deep dive, y'all. So here's a couple things. I was just talking. It's in the same lines of what we were just talking about. When I do one-on-ones with my sellers, I talk to them about the like lines of communication between like if I say something, especially as a new senior chief at a command, to like what they receive, right? And I'm talking about when I'm talking to like my firemen. So you got me, right? And I'm just talking communication points. From me, it's a chief in my division, right? So then from chief, and it's not always how it goes, but this could be how it goes. You got my LPO of the division. From the LPO, we got first classes. From the first classes, we got works in the soups. From the works in the soups, we got sailors. By the time, if I say something, whatever I say, get all the way down to the sailors, it's telephone game shit by that time. It's probably a lot different than the way I intended for it to be, the temperament that I intended to have. So for the last 2 weeks, I've been there now for like 6 weeks, right? So for the last 2 weeks, anything that I want, like the temperament to be understood of how I said it, I just say it myself. You know, it's not an indictment against like nobody else, because everybody else is charged to deliver. You know, so if I say something to like my LPO, for instance, and I could just be like, yo, we need to fix this. My LPO going to translate that like this need to get fixed right now. Like senior saying we need to fix it. Let's get it fixed. So he might call a works in a soup now and his own temperament and be like, yo, get this fixed right now. It's need to get done. Boom. Works in a soup might translate that to, hey, LPO's pissed off. This shit need to get done. We fucked up. Let's get it done. Sellers might take that as, damn, somebody is super hot about this. We need to do this right now in this moment. It sound like senior pretty upset about this. Boom, boom, boom. So by the time they get down to them, and then they probably thinking like, remember I said, make it make sense, my motto. They probably thinking like, why the fuck is this such an emergency that senior want this done today? When really it's just something that I might have been saying just needed to be fixed, you know?
Yeah.
So I think when it comes to lines of communication, I think it's a disconnect a little bit. Now, we were just talking about this we wasn't talking about SCA2P. We was talking about the marketplace, right? So I was having a conversation today, and a part of the conversation was, why do we think people don't get feedback like sometime on some of these things that just is bullshit, right? So soon as that thing came out and we talked, you was saying that it might not be enough billets, right? You said that the moment we talked about on our pod, it might not be enough billets. So now let's talk about the line of communication going up, right? Now, before I say that, I'm going to say this. Most admirals and captains I met were not disconnected at all. They knew what the hell, they had a real nice sense of what's going on the deck plates. A lot of times, a lot of sailors don't know that because it don't get translated down to them the right way. That's that, right? So now let's talk about things that get translated up. I was telling somebody this when somebody said, yo, how come like we don't get, I think I might have said it and then I thought about it. Like, how come the people up top don't hear that shit is bullshit enough? Because ain't nobody telling them that, bro. Like, so by the time it get all the way up to like, it's just a chain of people trying to say things the best way possible to not piss somebody off. You know what I mean? So by the time it get up to the person that really need to hear it is packaged so beautifully that they don't really understand how bad of a fucking problem it is. Because it ain't like they turning on permission to speak freely and just hearing it like true and raw. They getting it from somebody that don't think shit like permission to speak freely is even worthy to listen to, because it is true and raw. So they get in it packaged like, hey, Admiral such and such, it's a little bit of issue going in the barracks, some sellers, where in the raw cut, it's like, yo, it's mold, motherfuckers was this, that with it. Seller got cut, bleed bled into the mold, all this. By the time they get it, it's all cut up. Yeah. So I think that's what. Facts. So when it's saying is disconnect, that's because people don't be keeping it real going up, because they trying to, even like it's some young sellers that's gonna keep it funky with the CO, but then some people gonna put their best face on. When the CO, like, you gonna put your best. It's like when you see your grandparents as a kid, like. Granddad, like, I just did a science project. It's not like you keeping it funky. Like, I just stole on somebody. Yeah. I stole on somebody in class because they was trying to talk to like the girl that I like or whatever. You're not telling them that. You representing yourself the best way possible. So that's where I think the disconnect really be. It's all in translation. Yeah. I agree, man. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. No, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said, man, with the disconnect, man. And just to add to what you were saying, man, like, I do think social media plays a part, right? And I'm going to tell you why I say social media played a part in the disconnect is because sometimes you may not get to see my expressions, right, on what I'm really saying. Because you know why, man? A lot of times now, man, we doing chats. You know what I'm saying? We doing group me, we doing what else, we doing all this stuff, and I'm typing stuff in there, but you don't get to see how maybe important this is or my expressions and things like that you see, because we got so much, we just in our phones or we on computers, we doing this and that. And I think that's a little bit of a disconnect too, with the rawness of things too, right? On how I'm saying it or whatever. It may not be important because I put it on the chat. But when you see me, it may just be a little bit more important because now you see how I'm reacting to it, right? Yeah. So you can see how I react and say, oh shit, he means business. But if I put it in the chat, it don't. But man, you make some good ass points, man, on a disconnect, man, especially when it comes to going up, right? We always, but you have some people out there that say it raw, but regardless if you say it raw, you still gotta package it some type of way though. You know what I mean? Like it's a way you could give. Yeah. I
was just going to say, packaging it takes away some of the authenticity from whatever the message is, because you thinking about now what you got to say. So I remember one day being in like the CO's stateroom or whatever, and I'm saying something and it ain't really hitting him right. So then I'm like, permission to speak freely, sir. Right? Little tag for the podcast. He's like, go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead, chief. Say what the fuck it is you trying to say. So then I say what it is, and he like, oh, okay, damn,
That's a little different.
He like, yo, you should have just, but people package way too much. Like, all right, so let's give another example. Because when people say that the Admiral disconnected, right? So they say that, and then the Admiral does a town hall, and then nobody says any of the things that they want to say. Half of that is because of the Admiral, right? But I think the other half be people don't want to say what they feel like is a stupid question. People don't want to say something that they think people are going to judge them for. People don't want to say something that they think after they said it, they chief or they first class going to be like, how come you ain't talked to us about that? We could have fixed it. Chiefs don't really want to say shit because they think that they chiefs and that they should have to be able to solve all our problems or use the mess to help us solve all our problems. The officers ain't really trying to say shit because they think that as officers, they good. They could just talk. So it's like nobody really trying to. So normally when they say shit like that, when the Admiral be around, it'd be like schedule based. Like, oh, well, when we go here, what's going to happen here? Like something like that, where it's like, it's a whole lot more you could say. Now, if I'm an Admiral or like a MCPON or like a Fleet Master Chief or something, and I go somewhere, I don't know if I would like put a whole lot of stock into the all hands. Well, not that, but I don't know if I would put as much stock into the all hands as I would put into like one-on-one conversations where somebody not worried about this or not worried about that. And if I did an all hands, I would say this, and I don't know if it would land, but I would say something like, ask me anything, even if you think it's a stupid question. Because a lot of people be holding in questions that they think is stupid. And it ain't that they think the question's stupid. They think other people going to think that they had a stupid question. So they just don't say nothing. So there you go. You got more fucking disconnect because now you got a whole Fleet Master Chief MCPON Admiral who took 2 to 3 hours to go visit a command or visit a command, and all they got was the prettiest picture of the command that was possible.
Yeah.
Every now and then, now I'm not discounting the fact that sailors keep it funky. You know, every now and then though, sailors keep it funky. Most time people don't say shit. That's why like, bro, I swear the command climate survey is losing its luster. Like I swear like a lot of people hitting that 30%. Not a lot of people hitting 30%, bro.
30%.
30%. So it's like the CO don't even see the raw from that because nobody saying shit because they already think that it's a disconnect. So they not saying, like it's a perpetuated disconnect because ain't nobody ever saying shit. So there we go.
Yep. I agree with you, bro. 100%. Hey, if you guys got anything to add about this disconnect, man, hit us up, man, in the comments, man. That's a great topic, man. And we'll love to hear it from a different view. You know what I mean? from our view anyway. So
yeah,
most definitely, man.
Yeah, I love to hear it from like an admiral. But like we said, like I think a lot of them air is to the ground and they just don't hear enough, man. You know, I'm really cool. Like my last command, my admiral's aide or whatever. I'm real cool. Her flag, I'm really cool with the dude. But that's my bro for real. He listens to that pod too. But like he told me one day when I was acting as a CMC and I was like, hey, I'm not sure if the boss want to hear all of this. He like, yo, the boss want to hear everything. She cares about everything. He like, it's just that not everybody be sharing it with her, bro. You know what I mean? She is an admiral. She does have a job to do. So she going to do her job. Now, and if you not coming in here saying like, hey, this with this seller, this with that seller, yeah, she going to be disconnected.
Yeah.
You know, so
I agree.
Yeah. We could beat that drum all day. But let's get into this last, I guess this is the last topic. Tish has some topics, y'all. I don't know if I'm going to cut the parts with Tish out or not, but they wasn't really effective parts because Tish tried to come in. We got to give Tisha props, man. She really, it's funny, we got to give Tisha props for trying to show up. Tish really tried, y'all. She tried, man. It ain't work out, but she tried. So this article here, the Navy's top enlisted sailor is targeting hazing to combat leadership problems. I don't know if we're going to hang it too long. I would, but I don't know. Who knows how long we're going to talk of this. It says the Navy's top enlisted sailor, the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy. Oh, that's who the top enlisted is? The Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy? MCPON has set his sights on marking changes to one of the most closely held traditions of Chief Petty Officer ranks, the initiation. So they talked to him, and he talked about tackling counterfeit behaviors among chiefs, collectively known as the Chief's Mess. And among his hopes is that the induction of new Chief Petty Officers becomes far less, some word that I don't know, onerous and time-consuming, a far less honorary and time-consuming tradition. So honestly, like some of the stuff we've been talking about, like it just seemed like it's kind of like moving in action. So it's a little bit more to this article about like, did you read this article?
I did.
So he's talking about how he like is trying to tackle the mess first, like during his term as a MCPON, right? Or something like that.
Yeah. Sounds like, man, to me, I don't like the picture that I'm getting painted in this is that the mess is out there doing things. You know what I mean? And I'm here to try to correct it. And I'm not saying some people ain't making mistakes out there. And like he said in here, like it's been like MCPONs has been tackling this whole thing. And you can tell back when people made it in 80s and 90s and 2000s, it's been changing like every damn, it's been changing all the time. And now he's just continuing that reign of trying to make change. And I talked about this before. Sooner or later, that change is going to be not even having none of the events that we do now. It's pretty much going to be training. And I can see that happening. And people don't want to hear that, but I'm telling you, I can see us moving that way. But he used some strong words that was used here to me in the word hazing, bro. Like, to me, like, ever since we came in the Navy, that word has been kind of a word that's been associated with like making people do things they don't want to do, and it just abuses, humiliating people, and all that stuff, man. That's not what we about. We not demeaning people. I'm saying it right, demeaning people, and making them feel a certain way. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't think this happens a whole lot. Maybe like it was maybe in the 80s and 90s and stuff. Is because people ain't scared to open their freaking mouth, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not finna go in there in the mess and with a chief select in 2023 and think that they're not finna come out of there and say something. It's different, guys. It's all different. Some of the stuff that's talked about in this article is not happening in today's Navy. It's just not happening. And I want to be honest with you. I'm talking about, when I say this, I'm talking about my experience though. So I'm assuming some knuckleheads out there that's doing some crazy shit. That's probably why this article is out, whatever the case may be. But I just don't see a whole lot of this stuff happening. But it's crazy, bro.
So this is what I think. I think he ain't doing nothing different than we, do. Right? He not doing anything different than we do. We get on here and we hold ourselves accountable first. All the time. We hold chiefs to chiefs mess accountable first all the time. And chiefs seem pretty accepting of that accountability for the most part, right? I never really had too many chiefs like, man, like, screw y'all or whatever. That was my best attempt to not curse right there. I had never had too many chiefs. I never had too many chiefs like, hey, screw y'all, like y'all suck, none of that, right? So, and we put our feet to the fire a lot because we are chiefs. Now, the thing that, because I ain't even know, I'll talk about the other part in a second. The thing that I don't want to happen is, all right, he started with the mess, right? Now, let him go say one thing about the junior sellers. They gonna be on they gonna be on his ass, man. And y'all junior sellers, man. Y'all junior sellers, man. Y'all wrong for that, man. like y'all wrong for that.
Fucking around.
Because y'all let us come in here and cut up the Chiefs all fucking year. Let us say one thing that y'all need to improve on. Like we just said, like your ball cat. Y'all gonna be on our ass. You know what I'm saying? And y'all gotta do better.
Cap up your head like this, shit,
bro. Y'all gotta do better than that. Y'all have to. Like y'all can't. Like the McPie, he getting in our ass, man. Like we gotta do better. He telling us we fucking up. We gonna do better. But when he starts saying stuff to y'all about y'all wearing y'all AirPods while y'all transiting into the P-Ways, y'all gotta take that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta take that, man.
They ain't taking it, bro.
No, it's gonna be all over. All y'all Facebook, Reddit pages and all that. Y'all gonna be getting in his ass.
That's
funny. Y'all gonna be bringing up the PT shit. Y'all got I know where y'all going. Y'all going straight for the gut. No pun intended. Y'all going straight for the jugular or big prime, man. Cause y'all will do the same to us. I already know. And we starting with ourselves, though. We give ourselves the business all the time. You know what I mean? So that's that part of it. The second part of it is I never been anywhere where I felt like it was hazing going on. I do think that it's a generation of chiefs in a mess that is taking longer to receive the understanding that the season is changing. And we could talk about it a little bit because the McPon, these are public news articles, right?
Yeah.
So, and like on that public release he did, it was about shock and awe and stuff like that, right? Like taking shock and awe out of, the season. It's some Chiefs that's trying to hold on to that. You know, like some people had that in a season and they trying to hold on to that. You know, and eventually, like you said, it's going to go. You know, it's going to go. But then I also think it's a group of Chiefs that don't know. It's a lot of different groups. But so I talked about the Shaq and R group, and I'm only going to talk about one other group, and that's the group that don't know what to do with their hands. Like, you know, and I don't mean that in like a way like people actually doing things with their hands, but it's people like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do I do? Like, you know, like in like Talladega Nights, like he's like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Cause it's like, all right, you telling us everything that like we can't do anymore, you know. What's the guidance on what we can do now? Like, what's the guidance? So it's some people like that. Like some people don't know the happy medium and they need a directive for everything. So some people just be quiet now, like shut down, like not knowing what to do. You know, so it's different groups. There's a lot of education that come with a lot of these things and stuff like that. Chiefs need training. I think that's a whole different conversation. I think we definitely need like a training regimen. We need our own kind of training thing too. We got that old ass cheap training thing, but we need more training. I know we do LDC, but we just need more training and stuff like that. And that's my thoughts on that thing there. But I'm with McPine. I think he going about it the right way as far as talking to the Chiefs first. You know, some of the statements and some of those letters and things like that, some of those statements are heavy and some of it, you know, it's like, all right, well, how do we do this? And how do we do that? But he's going about it by addressing us first. But, you know, we gone, like, just like us, Damon, you got to work your way down, man. You got hit. Yeah. You got to go to no man's land, man, with the E6, with the E6 and below. You got to hit no man's land, man.
Sitting in the corners like I couldn't wait for this motherfucker to come down here.
They'll light your ass up about beards. you know, they'll light your ass. You telling Chiefs, like, yo, Chiefs, y'all need to be here. Y'all need to be to work before all your people. You need to leave before all your people. You need to know your watch team replacement plan. You need to be on the front lines of them for mental health. Man, you telling Julius Seller, like, hey, beards ain't authorized. They about to light your ass up, man.
Damn, real. Shit's real out there, man. Shit.
That's crazy,
real
bro.
Out there, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
And that's it. That's it for us, man.
Yeah, man. Time to wrap this thing up, man. Good shit, man.
Yeah, shout out to T. I think we got into it at the end of the episode. So if you stuck with us through the first hour, man, you know that's what's up. We love you. We love you,
man.
Shout out to T. Shout out to the new listeners. If you made it to the end of the episode, shout out to you. We love you. Thanks for your support. Hopefully you keep listening. Shout out to everybody who shot me a DM this week, who shot PTSF a DM this week. We love y'all. We appreciate the support. Keep supporting. If you can, and you've been listening to our episodes, if you listen to over 10 of our episodes, please go to Apple Podcasts and write a review, right? Write a review. Or even if you don't write a review, give us a rating. Yeah, we ain't get a review in like a year.
What?
Yeah, we ain't had a review in like a year. So write a review, man.
Can we get a review, man? Yeah. Can we get a rating? Come on now.
Give it up for the guys, man. Give it up for the good guys, man.
Yeah,
Give it up for the good guys that teach.
We
and
bring
it goes
it to
the
your
spirit of
speakers,
teach.
We bringing it to your car, man. We bringing it into your Bose earphone, to your Apple, man. We bringing it in there, man.
I live in the barracks, Damon. We could give them another hour. I don't got nothing going on. I live in the barracks, bro. You can Mississippi stand up them, or we could give them a whole another hour. Like, it's
man. I'm gonna be real with you guys, man. I'm gonna give y'all guys a Mississippi stand up, man. You know what I mean?